Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new episode of Riordanverse News, your one-stop spot for everything Riordanverse, whether it be books, adaptations or anything in between. This is the place you want to be, so be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already, because we have weekly news here on the channel. We've got quite a bit to get through today, so let's dive into it. First up, we have a few sort of fandom related disputes that have happened in most recent week, from a comment that Becky Riordan, wife to Rick Riordan, put in relation to someone's fan art of a black Annabeth with blonde hair, saying, "I love the blonde hair here on Annabeth, but I don't think she has to be blonde to still be our Annabeth. That is not a hint, just something I've been thinking about since the movie in 2010. We're still working on finding our TV Annabeth." Now, unfortunately, with the way in which some areas of this fandom can be, a lot of people jumped on this very quickly and started throwing hate. Most people were talking about how it would be a dishonour, disservice, and basically an appalling action for someone to be casted and shown as, for example, a brunette for Annabeth, because Annabeth's central feature is her being blonde, and her not being blonde is an insult to the fandom. And unfortunately, it led to Becky having to delete her tweet and a few other things that she'd posted, and then post this afterwards. "It is disappointing to see you all being mean to each other just because someone else may see things differently than you do. We all can have different opinions, me included. That is what makes this a beautiful worldwide fandom. We are not all the same. Thank goodness for that." Now, I posted briefly about this here on the channel, mainly just a reaction to that, and the fact that for me personally, yeah, I agree. Annabeth does not have to be blonde. The dumb blonde stereotype was a throwaway section in a later series that's not brought up in The Lightning Thief, and honestly is a little bit outdated. Yes, blonde people can occasionally still be seen as the dumb blonde stereotype, but it's not really as prevalent as it was when the books came out in 2005. Or in the case of Mark of Athena, where it's mentioned, 2010, I think it was. Maybe 2012, around that point at least. But the fact that people reacted so badly to the mere idea that Annabeth couldn't be blonde is something that I think is just a little bit ridiculous. Yes, she may look different to what people have imagined, because obviously she is mentioned as blonde and tan in the books. But her physical appearance is not what makes Annabeth Annabeth. And I think that's the thing here. Becky is just pointing out that Annabeth as a character isn't defined by her appearance. No one should be defined by their appearance in relation to who they are as a person. And I think the fact that people have gotten really upset about this just kind of is just a little bit sad, if I'm honest. Because all I can think is, if the actress cast for Annabeth, or anyone who is cast for anyone in the show, doesn't meet this fandom's expectations, if this is how they react to a comment that Annabeth doesn't have to be blonde, not even confirming that Annabeth won't be blonde in the show, this is literally just a mere idea from Becky, no confirmation, nothing, it's just a thought she had, and people have gone livid and wild over that she had to delete her tweets, and has kind of been a little bit radio silent from her own comments since then. I dread to think how the actors are going to feel about this. I dread to think how Disney is going to react to this. If people start throwing hate and start trying to boycott, as people were trying to do and saying they would do if Annabeth wasn't blonde, we may not even get the whole show if people are getting this mad over hair colour. Just let that sink that in. People were throwing hate and death threats over hair colour and threatening to boycott the show. I'm just going on a tangent here now, but I think people just need to calm down. The adaptation is in Rick's hands. He is the one who is involved in this, both with the scripts, though not all of them as far as we're aware, he's only worked on 4, and is an executive producer. His own production company that he started, Method Magic, is also involved. He is deeply involved in the project alongside multiple other deep Percy Jackson fans. This fandom does not have the right to dictate how this adaptation is going to be. And the fact that people believe they have the right to do that, please calm down. You're ruining it for everyone. And that's all I have to say about that. Moving into something a little bit more fun from how this started, and some good news. for the Rick Riordan Presents authors. So this week we got the confirmation that Eva Longoria is getting involved with Tella Kay's Paula Santiago and the River of Tears story for an adaptation for Disney+. As it says, the original series follows a special young girl on a world-bending adventure steeped in Mexican mythology. And everyone is really excited about this. We knew we had an announcement a long while ago during the Tower of Nero tour that this was going to be happening. But the fact that we've got confirmation that it's Eva Longoria's production company, and Eva Longoria has done loads of stuff and has produced a lot of material. And so very glad to hear that, and so is Tella as well, which is obviously the main important thing, is that the author themselves are very happy about this. And it's going to be a series on Disney+. We've got nothing else further other than the fact that it is Eva Longoria and that it'll be coming to Disney+. But either way, this is very exciting, and I'm glad to see that Tella is also very happy about this. Oh, it's also going to be a live action series, so even cooler. We're going to be seeing more actual representation on screen with actors of that background. And I just love that. I love that it's happening, that Tella is happy, and I'm really excited to see how this adaptation turns out. Continuing with Rick Riordan Presents, JC Savant's new book, The Lords of Night, officially have the cover out now. It's going to be popping up on screen, and as JC says, I wish I could express how in love I am with this cover created by Alba Palacios. I apologise if I say that name wrong. Ren, my shadow bruja, came onto the page in The Firekeeper, and I was instantly struck with her mysterious history and what/who she might become. The Lords of Night is one hell of a ride, and if you read it, please do not come for me when you reach the end. Oh gosh, we're going to have some more more cliffhanger stuff. I feel like that's the staple of the RR Presents and just anything in relation to mythology. There's always a cliffhanger of a sort, so I'm excited to read this. I'm excited that JC is excited, so hopefully we'll be able to get that soon. I don't think there's a date yet. If there is, I'll probably be doing a cut in here saying, hey Fran, you're wrong. But I'm very excited to see how this is going. But continuing with cover reveals, we also got the cover reveal from Roseanne Brown for her Rick Riordan Presents book, the first from her as well, entitled Sarah Boateng's Guide to Vampire Hunting. Now, this is a new series, obviously new author, new series, and it is from a mythology that has not yet been covered under Rick Riordan Presents, in that it is a Ghanaian mythology series. This is the first book of seemingly two, I believe. So I believe there's going to be a duology, although further confirmation may happen later. And it is coming out this year. Again, not too sure if there is a confirmation date of when it will be published, but the fact that it's coming and the fact that this cover is just awesome is very exciting news. And I'm really excited for Roseanne Brown to join the Rick Riordan Presents family. And that is all that we have time for this week in relation to news from the Riordanverse. So if there's anything that I've possibly missed or anything that you've enjoyed hearing from the stories, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on all of this. As always, if you want to get more new Riordanverse news, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, drop a thumbs up, and check out all the other information for these news stories in the description box if you want to get more information. Again, thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you all next time.